Hey y'all, Enzo here from Knox Knife Mods. Hope y'all are doing well. I am not. I'm not doing well, but I need to get a video up, and I'm certainly not going to make Wolfman Walsh do it again because he's covered like the last 3 weeks because I always have something going on. So big thank you to him for keeping the boat afloat around here. So yeah, I'm really not feeling too good, but I still wanted to get a video done, and it's a necessary video that I've been meaning to do. So we're just gonna sit here and record, and I'm not gonna edit it. I'm just gonna throw this right up on YouTube. So apologies for the low level of quality. Typically we keep things to a higher standard around here, but yeah, I just don't have the energy right now to just sit down and go through an editing process. I just can't do it. So also, a lot of new subscribers. I know a lot of y'all came over from Knife Doctor. He shouted us out, and I really appreciate that. And thank you guys for the support. So we're a two-man channel. I'm Enzo. Wolfman Walsh is the other half of this channel. And yeah, we love knives, and we love to talk about knives, whether they're modern or traditional. And that's what we're going to do today. Today I'm talking about the knives that I've picked up so far in 2024. We're halfway through the year, which is nuts. And there's been a lot of really cool stuff. So I'm going to highlight some of my favorites. And not all of these came out this year. Actually, I should, I should, excuse me, I should clarify. Not all of these came out. These are just what I picked up this year. But a few of them did came out this year, or like right around this year. I don't know. I'm in a daze, so bear with me. First up, though, I will talk about Blade Show knives because we went to Blade Show, had an excellent time. And while I was there, I picked up the Demco 8010 limited edition in titanium and 3V. Love 3V. It's one of my favorite steels by far. Super tough. The kind of steel that you're going to chop a tree down with. So really love this stuff. Yeah, so it's a really sweet version. It's numbered, serialized. That's number 32. Got to meet Jimmy Slash because he was manning the booth when I picked this thing up. The only thing I've changed is that I put a stone-washed pocket clip on it, which I really prefer with the titanium. The titanium has kind of a micro orange peel. It's really nice. It's very grippy. Feels really good in hand. The action is phenomenal, but I did take it apart and I polished the washers, so it's even better now. Anything else I want to highlight on this? It's much thinner than the stock 8010. It's noticeably thinner, and I really like that. So big fan of that. Really awesome knife. Yeah, the 8010's been one of my favorite knives for a very long time. So I wasn't planning on picking this up, but when I saw it in the booth, I was like, yeah, I gotta get it. That's my big blade purchase this year. So yeah, love this one. Also, while I was there, I picked up a Rayot XOU. These things were a hot commodity at the show, man. A lot of vendors had them at the start of Saturday, and by the end of Saturday, they were almost entirely gone. Smoky Mountain Knife Works was where I ended up getting this one. They were the last vendor, as far as I know, they were the last vendor to have them. But these are wonderful utility knives. They're very affordable for the mechanics here. It's a gravity knife. It has a lock, so you can lock it closed, so it can't come open while it's in the pocket. And then when you pull it out, here, let me see if I can show y'all. You just pop that lock back, raise this bar up here, and then it slides out. Boom. And then for added security, you can lock the blade again, and then it's not going to go back in. So it's really addictive, really fidgety. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm sure you guys have heard of the XO, and I think it's really cool that they've come up with an affordable version in the XOU. So it's an aluminum handle, and obviously this is just a typical utility blade that you can swap out from any hardware store. So pretty cool. One thing on these, I was actually going to test traveling with this because I had some work that I had to do in New York, and which is probably where I got sick. So big thank you to New York. But I was going to take the blade out and see if I could carry it on the plane. And then I read online that even with just a handle, no blade, they will still confiscate these. So I didn't want to lose this, so I ended up not doing it. But just in case you're thinking about it, don't do it. They will still confiscate this. I can't cite the source. I'm sorry. I believe it. I saw this actually on like the TSA site. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, guys, it's a fun knife though. And yeah, if you can get a hold of one, you want one of these fun fidgety gravity knives, this thing is awesome. It's a great sort of compromise against the huge, full-size XO in titanium and all that stuff. Fun knife. All right, moving right along. This one is one that I really love. I started working for Primo this year, which is a excuse me, a knife company here in Knoxville. We make very beautiful custom kitchen knives, very exquisite work from our bladesmith, John Phillips, Forge and Fire champion. This was a second that he had, a little cheese cleaver, and he was basically like, you know what, I'm not going to sell this. If you want it, it's yours. And I said, yeah, I'll take it. And I love it. This thing is awesome. It's now my favorite fixed blade to carry. It's one of those happy things happy sizes. It's a little big knife, and it's a perfect size one, man. It's not a huge knife, but because of the height of that blade, it feels substantial in the hand. Blade steel on this is Nitro V. The handle is a wood of some kind. I can't remember what kind of wood. I went in and did some custom. I did some modding work to it. I did a kind of a rock pattern carving on the wood. Dyed it a kind of midnight blue, which I think looks really good. I really like the look, and then sealed it just with some thin set. Yeah, really love it. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, if you guys don't follow Primo, it's Primeaux. Be sure to follow them on Instagram and all the good stuff, YouTube, all that social media stuff. Give their YouTube channel a follow, though, because I produce content for their YouTube channel along with Kate, who does a lot of the short form stuff. Yeah, their YouTube channel is Primo Knives. So, yeah, give them a follow. We'd really appreciate it. And you can see some more of my content there, just with not me in front of the camera, but behind the camera and doing the editing. Love this knife, though, man. If you're interested in getting something like this, yeah, be sure to check out Primo, Primeaux. Awesome. Moving along. I think I got this one this year. I'm not sure. This is the... Yeah, I had to have, because this was Case's vault pattern this year. I definitely got this one this year. This is the Case. Is it a travel razor is what they called it? I can't remember. It's a razor, and it's a beautiful one, my lord. I got this one locally, and they had a bunch of different a bunch of different handle materials there in different colors and stuff. I got this from our friend Johnny, who we did a podcast with, which is going to come out eventually. But obviously white bone here. Lovely XX oval shield. I really dig that shield. And it's just a real classy presentation on this one. Also, the fit and finish on this one is really good. Like just a tiny, minuscule, tiny little bit of wobble to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm not even worried about that. And as I've said many times, and I'll say it again, my GECs have just as much wobble as my Cases. So, you know, I'm not necessarily on that train of GECs automatically better than Case. But yeah, nice pin blade as the secondary. And again, that main blade is this nice, guys, sorry, nice, big, kind of an easy open razor. Although I'll be real with y'all, and I think they know this too, that hook does not work very well for a one-arm jack kind of opening. It just doesn't work. I think that's why they kind of rebranded this as a travel razor. But anyway, the two-handed action is still really nice, and the walk and talk is lovely. Really good snap. Really enjoying this one. Okay, hard cut. So next knife up is the Ontario produced Old Hickory slip joint. Don't know if this was made. No, this was definitely not made in 2024. This, I think, is a 2023. But I got this at Smoky Mountain Knife Works for $40. So really cool because it's, you know, all American made. Blade steel on this is $10.75. I've done some work to the handle. It no longer says Old Hickory across the billboard there. I did some rock carving. Some of y'all, if you came from the Knife Doctor channel, you may have seen this video because this is the one that he shouted out. Excuse me. But yeah, nice patina going on the blade here. That's just natural patina from cutting food and cutting oranges and stuff. Yeah, and then I did a rock carve here. I love the way it kind of burned the wood. I think it came out really cool. And then I dyed it with kind of a red dye. And the walk and talk on this is very good. It's a little tight. I like tight walk and talk. But that's just the comment that I get from anybody that handles it is like, whoa, that's really tight. And I think it is a bit too tight because what happens is it wants to kind of stall as you're trying to close it. Like here, look at that. Like it just wants to stop there. So I don't know if it's a tightness thing or if it's a tang geometry thing. I've tried oiling it, and that doesn't really seem to help a whole lot. So maybe I just need to give it a good cleaning. I don't know. But I like the knife a lot, and the reason I like it is because it's very referential of William Skagel patterns, folding patterns, and it's got that kind of very Skagely nail slot. I think it looks really good. I don't think so much you would see this kind of hump here on an actual Skagel, but for $40 to see a Skagely looking knife like this is really cool, because if you were looking for a Skagel reproduction, you would be paying more in the realm of $400. So awesome knife. Next up, been waiting for these for a while. Walsh and I were pretty excited about these. This is the in spades. Excuse me. Rough Rider in spades, cinnamon bone. That's it, cinnamon bone. This was the Swell Center Jack. Swell Center Jack. Very cool knife. It's Damascus blades. I don't really know what the steel is. It is pretty, but it's very affordable. I think this one was like $20. Really like the the color of the bone. It's almost more of like a toasted marshmallow thing to me. I think it's really pretty. It's a nice fat handle, so if you like a fat handle, these are great for that. And we personally know the designer behind a lot of these Rough Rider patterns. He's a wonderful guy, and he really thinks about his designs. He puts a lot of effort and a lot of thought into them. And he is actually having a commemorative case knife that's being, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be at, excuse me, it's going to be at Smoky Mountain Knife Works case community tour. I can't remember the name of it, but it's this Saturday, June 29th. So that's going to be really cool. Or is that Sunday? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm wandering into the weeds here. This is a knife he designed, and it's really awesome. Main clip point blade there, and the secondary is this. I need to ask him about this blade because it has confused the heck out of me. It's kind of it's a very odd shape. It's like this not triangular, like quadrilateral kind of. That's not the right word either. I don't know. It's a polygon. It's a very interesting shape. I want to ask him about the angles behind this shape. But yeah, it's kind of I don't even know what to call it, but it's got some belly to it. Nice tip. So the secondary is super useful. It's interesting blade shape. Yeah, so really like the Swell Center. I've always been a fan of Swell Center style patterns, and yeah, it's just pretty nice and affordable. Moving right along here, I don't know if I got this one this year or last year. This is a case Sodbuster. Got this one from Johnny in the orange Delrin. I love the color of orange that's comes on these Delrin handles. It has brass liners, of course, brass pins, but it's all like kind of really suits the coloring. I don't know. I just think it looks really good. I did some. I'm trying to do a little bit more spine filing. So you can see I did some here, and I think it turned out pretty good. There's some little areas that could be better, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, just an affordable case. Again, it's nice to be able to get an American-made knife for around the $50 mark. With a good warranty and all that stuff. Of course, this is on a cam tang, so just no half stops or anything like that. But the action's really nice. Let me check the wobble on this one. No wobble, which I found, a lot of the time with cases single blade patterns, they're wobble free, so that's nice. So yeah, no wobble on this one. It's nice large size traditional knife there. Nothing crazy about this. It's just your typical Sodbuster and Delrin, but it's fun. This one's cool. When we were at Blade Show, we went by the Midgard's Messer booth, which was incredibly entertaining because those fellas from Germany, man, they are a hoot, and they are very into. How do I put this? They're very into knives as defensive options, and they're very vocal about it. But the guy was really very kind, but also very clear about his stance on knives. So I handled a knife similar to this one. This is a Boker. How do I put this? This is a Midgard's licensed design through Boker. It's produced by Boker Plus. They had a design kind of similar to this, not really, but kind of the same size, and that was a little bit bigger actually. That was the little Beowulf. It was about $300, and I love the look of it. I love the look of that knife, but I went to open it, and I literally couldn't open the knife, which is crazy. I could open it two-handed, but not one-handed, which I don't typically have issues with that. And then once I opened it two-handed, I couldn't close the frame lock. I couldn't get the lock out of the way. So I'm like, this is nuts, man. So I don't know if you need to be Schwarzenegger to do that, but still a cool knife. But so I wanted the Midgard kind of experience, but on something that I could actually open and close. And so this Boker Dvalin folder fit the bill. And I bought it used from a dude on eBay who lied about the state of it. And when I received it, it had some serious rust spots on it. So I decided to acid wash it, and also acid wash the handle. The pocket clip is stock. But yeah, it's a fun knife. It's not perfect, but for what it is, I like it quite a lot. Just a big, chunky, silly knife. And that's, well, not big. It's a small knife. But again, it's that little big knife area. But it's silly. It's a silly, chunky knife. You can see the blade stock thickness is quite thick. The handle thickness is just ridiculous. But now this is a good place to highlight the fit and finish issues, because they are there, man. Big gaps between the back spacer and the handle scale. Y'all can see that. Also, these jimping lines don't meet up at all, whether from the G10 or the back spacer or the lock scale. So just stuff like that. I'm willing to let it go, because this is really the only Midgard I'll be able to afford, I think. But yeah, it's still a fun knife, and the front flipping action's good. You got to get used to it. It's a heavy push. You can also slow roll it, but it's not the most satisfying thing in the world, so I prefer to front flip it. But yeah, fun knife. I got one more. This is one that's been kind of a bummer. I was really excited about it, and it was working great at first. So this is the Kaiser Escort with their wonderful clutch lock. This is their version of the Axis lock. And when it arrived, it had just a slight bit of play, so I tightened the pivot, which, by the way, that's one complaint I have, is the shallowness of that T8. It is very shallow, which Kaiser would know better, I would think, so it's very strange. Tightened it down, got the play out, and it still was great. It has wonderful action, just absolutely stellar action. This clutch lock is really impressive. However, I went to use it the other day, and it's tightened down all the way. There's no more tightening it. Y'all aren't going to hear it, but there's significant blade play. I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to have to take it apart and see if I can figure it out. It's running on bearings. Maybe there's something in the bearings race that's throwing the whole thing off. I just don't know. So yeah, I'm going to take it apart. I've never taken apart an Axis-style lock knife before, so with these Kaisers with the clutch lock, they do full liners, unlike Benchmade that does like a partial liner. So maybe that'll make things easier. I'm not sure. What I'm thinking is if I can take the scales off and just work through the liners, because I can disassemble an Axis style lock to the point where I can get the blade out and get the washers out. So I think I'll try to do that and just get it down to the liners, then remove the blade and the bearings. So we'll clean it out, see if I can fix it one of these days. But it's a really cool knife, aside from the issue with the with the blade play. Blade steel on this is 154 cm. Handle material is rich light, which I really like. It's just this. It's paper micarta is what it is, but it's just this nice, smooth, kind of silky kind of texture. It's super nice. So anyway, guys, that's it. Again, sorry for the quality of the video here. There's not going to be an intro or an outro. I'm gonna say goodbye, and now the video is going to end. So thank you guys for joining. I hope you've enjoyed this and you've been able to endure me talking this way. So all the best to you guys. We will see y'all soon. I'm sure Walsh has some stuff. Actually, I know Walsh has some cool stuff coming up. I'm going to try to do some more in-depth videos on some of these knives. This one in particular, I think, really deserves it. And yeah, we will see you guys there. Thank y'all. Peace. See you soon.